to the last day of our 4-day webinar series, Evening for Learning, hosted by National Institute of Agriculture Extension Management, Hyderabad. Myself, Dr. Ahalya, working as Managed Fellow. So, and it's my pleasure to guide you through today's session. As you know, the theme for this webinar series is Innovative Technologies for Agriculture Extension. So, last 3 days, we had insightful discussion on gamification and drone technologies in agriculture extension, and how augmented and virtual reality works, and how these technologies can enhance knowledge dissemination and farmers' engagement. It had been an enriching experience over the last 3 days as we explored the intersection of technologies and agriculture extension. As we move into today's topic, artificial intelligence in agriculture extension, it is clear that AI is playing an increasingly important role in transforming agriculture, particularly in the way we engage with farmers and optimize farmers' farming practices. AI has the potential to radically change how we approach agriculture, but not only enhancing decision making, but also by enabling more personalized data-driven services. So during today's session, we will explore how AI is reshaping the agriculture services and their contribution to the farming and resource optimization. So our session today will feature expert insights, real-world examples, and discussions around the ethical consideration of AI in agriculture. We will also look into practical tools and platforms that are already making a difference in the agriculture sector. So without delay, I would like to introduce speaker for today's session. So to introduce our speaker for today's session, let me call my colleague Inia to introduce our speaker for today's session. Yeah, Inia, you can.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Pleasure to introduce our today's speaker, Mr. Govardhan Sangani, sir, Product Manager at NACL Industries Private Limited, for today's webinar session, titled Artificial Intelligence in Agriculture Extension. He holds a bachelor degree in Commercial Agriculture and Business Management from Professor Jaishankar, Telangana State Agriculture University, and he has completed postgraduate diploma in Agriculture Business and Management. His roles focusing on launching and marketing innovative, high-performing vegetable seeds tailored particularly to the diverse needs of farming community. He is passionate about empowering agricultural professionals, dedicated in transferring updated technologies to enhance the productivity and profitability in agriculture. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Govardhan, sir, for today's webinar session. Welcome, sir.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for the introduction. So, shall we start, or should we wait a minute or two?
Yes, sir, we can start. We can start.
So, good evening, everyone. Let me just quickly introduce myself. I am Govardhan. I have been into agriculture for almost 8 years now in private, and then with all my experience right now, what I can say is AI is currently changing the world as we see it every day. Here is the thing, like agriculture, more than just growing crops, it is the backbone of our civilization. Yet, farmers today face unprecedented challenges: climate change, resource scarcity, and a flood of misinformation. But there is a hope. Artificial intelligence is not here to replace farmers, it is to empower them. Let us understand that. And today we'll explore some of the how AI is revolutioning agriculture, especially the extension part of it. I would like to talk about it. And then we will also look into how it is transforming the hard work of the farmer into smart work. Because the challenge here is agriculture, although it's a mostly widely adapted, we can say, profession. In this case, there are some big, huge challenges in front of us in terms of number of mouths a farmer has to feed, number of civilians to the farmer ratio. It's really scary. Like, just for a context, let me tell you, in 1947, if we are okay, first let me share my presentation. Okay. Just a minute, guys.
Participants, kindly unmute your audio and video.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Is it visible? People?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
So coming to the situation here, in 1947, when independence has happened, and according to the data we have one farmer has 4 civilians in the ratio, and he is having approximately around 6 acre of land. And recent report of Niti Aayog says we have around 40 people a farmer has to feed, and the land is 1.8 acres. Going by the same statistics ahead, if we are looking the trend line to be continue and same, like all the urbanization factors, profitability, and other situations included, if we are projecting at 100 year of independence at 2047, the numbers are really scary. It is like one farmer gets 107 people to feed, and the land he might hold will be average, will be around 0.6 acres. So what I can say you is the number of people a farmer has to feed is increasing by 25 folds in the last 100 years, and then land is reduced by 10 times. So per an acre of land, the expected yield has to increase by 250 times. So now let us understand agriculture as a whole. We are having very interesting thing about the most important thing about agriculture to always remember, and this is the statement: agriculture is an art and a science. This is something I have heard in my first class during my undergraduation in College of Agriculture, Rajendranagar. uh, Dr. APK Reddy, he have mentioned this, and this stuck with me, and this stays with me. So agriculture is an art and a science. When we say it's an art, let us understand the entry barriers are very, very, very high. Exit barriers are so low, people can leave agriculture and they might go pursue many other opportunities. But when we say it is the backbone of our civilization, of our complete community, so we need to understand the art part of it is, it requires a lot of skill which cannot be replaced by any machine, obviously. So what happens? The art is with the farmers, and the science is with all the um, great minds, like all the scientists and researchers who are trying to make agriculture more simplified and more profitable. So here, let us also understand there is a huge role that agriculture extension has to play. All of us, typically, I claim we are agriculture extension agents. The reason is we are here to transfer the technology, all the goodness of the science, all the support that science could give to the farmer, the assurance we can give into a simplified format, and then taking it to the farmer, helping them to make informed decisions so that all of us will have a secure future. But there are multiple challenges we are talking about what farmers are facing. So, for each point of farmer problems, let us try to understand what kind of recent answers do we find, and then let us also understand how does AI actually fit into this complete scenario, right? So what we say, empowering the farmer with innovation is the key. Sorry, is the only key to sustainable agriculture. So there are multiple things here. Okay. So what will be the need for agriculture extension in this case? Why AI is needed for agricultural extension? So First thing is in the traditional method, what we are currently trying to convert into AI driven extension systems. The first and most important thing is the reach, the limited agent availability. In the sense, in most of the areas, actually, per 1,000 farmers, we are having one extension agent. So this is a very lower number, and the availability and access when they needed help, the right person, is actually very less. And AI driven extension system, what we are looking at is accessible, immediate. And then when it comes to advice, so we are human agents. So we are specifically trained into certain things, like maybe I know about seed, I know about pesticide, I might be knowing about fertilizer. But here what happens is when I need to know something else, like the most important thing we need to know about the challenges that farmers face is that there is no single problem farmer is facing at any given point of time. He is having a multiple problem. So when we are approaching as an extension agents or the marketing people or so-called sales people, we are going in with a product in our head. We talk to them, we convince them this is the best thing you can do at this point of time while choosing a pesticide or while choosing a seed, fertilizer, irrigation system, tractor, whatnot. So when we are going to multiple farmers, sadly, what happens is most of us, I can shamelessly admit, almost 90% of us go out and actually talk about, we are trying to give them a solution, which is my product basically. So we have a standard communication which we drop down and we will tell the whole story to the farmer. This is the way you can actually make some money, you can actually thrive. So here what happens is farmer might be having multiple challenges and I have answer for a single problem. So I will give him a generalized statement. And for an example, what generally happens, let me tell you. Some of you might be connecting to this. So when we actually go to some field to look at what pest and disease is happening there, and then farmer asks us at the end of the day, so how many days later should I irrigate my field? This is a very common answer question we'll be getting. So people generally say maybe 4 days or 10 days based on the type of crop. But the challenge is, it is not that simple. It is very tailored and specific. I can still say there are some people, some extraordinary people in the field from whom we all learn. But the challenge is they are very less. These people are very less that who can give a tailored and specific answer. There is no general answer which we should give to a farmer because there must be changes in type of soil, stage of the crop, and the temperatures, water, climate. Multiple factors will actually impact. So that tailored and specific is one very good benefit we will get with AI. See, let us also understand AI in agriculture extension is not just for farmers. Okay, see, farmers will have an advantage, and the agents like us who are going there and talking to them about a product or service as an extension agent, we also have a very good usage of AI, which can make us more effective. And then third, speed, time consuming in the sense like some farmer calls me, I'll already have a preset tour plan or my target somewhere, and this farmer is on the other side. For me to reach there, it will take minimum 1 2 days. But in case of some AIs, it will be instant. It will be real time insight. You can just scan a leaf and identify what kind of fungal disease it is, or it's a deficiency, and obviously opportunity cost. The chance of these people coming one day actually translates into more damage, and immediate solution will be actually saving you a lot of money. So what we are saying here is The same way, empowering farmer with innovation is the key to sustainable energy, agriculture. So now let us also see where are we trying to use the AI. First thing, we are talking about resource scarcity. When we started, I have said like 250 times of the food we need to manufacture from 1 acre of land. But it's not about land only. Resource here is also your water availability, your labor availability. So all these things are counted under resource, the basic raw materials which are needed. So here it's not about availability also. Please understand, we need to have some mechanism when you have excess of it. Like for example, I'll tell you, water doesn't harm plant, but standing water damages the plant. So today in our regular traditional systems, we have a habit of flooding irrigation. At the same time, if the water comes, we have no technology or no kind of infrastructure to drain the water out. Your farm ends here, next farm starts here. So there is no way this water which is trapped inside your field to run away. So drainage is also a very important thing when you're planning an agriculture thing. So this is one thing I am trying to put it like, I am expecting more and more young people, more and more people coming into agriculture in coming years, because we need people into agriculture. And the average age of farmer is shooting up. It's almost 50 right now. So unless, there will be people coming in, but the challenge is if they need to understand the skill, it will take time. Meanwhile, that is where understanding resources will be helpful with terms of AI. Here we have precision farming. So the exact machineries, like companies like Fasal, and some companies also are working on knowing the soil nutrients based on which they are planning the fertigation schedules, and exactly to the crop requirement at the right stage. Fasal is helping them with other things also, actually, like the climate changes. So predicting the climate is also a very important thing. First of all, using the scarce resource, you have very less water to pollute, you have very less fertile soils to grow crops, and it is important to understand you have very less human capital who can run the show in agriculture. Okay, so precision farming is going to answer the resource scarcity problem. So this particular thing, and then comes to climate change. So we are seeing, I think I am safe to say this statement that no two seasons in agriculture are same, because we are in I'm in product management for almost 5 years now, and what I see is the strategy has to be changed every moment. It's like playing chess. You can't sit down and say, okay, let him play and then we will do checkmate. It doesn't happen. Every move can change the step, every day can change the whole season. You have to be skeptical. And in this case, what is happening? Why climate is a challenge? The minor pests are becoming major pests, and the major pests are becoming minor pests. It is regardless of the crop. Climate changes are impacting. Like, for example, this year we have seen very less snowfall in Himachal area, especially in the lower and middle places. So apple as a crop, it requires almost 23 days of chilling period, and there is no snow this time, which has heavily impacted the yield, and we will be looking at huge rates of apples this year. The reason is, when you look at a slopey area, that hills, there is no method to irrigate. Basically, you keep water, it runs down the lane. But snow actually stays there and slowly releases the water. So absence of that snow, it's not only loss of tourism, but obviously it is a loss of the yield of apples this year is coming down to 30 to 40% of the regular, which is scary. And first time in the apple gardens, they had to use miticides and insecticides on a higher note. It's just a normal fungicides which happen, and that also has impact on multiple things. Okay, sorry. So climate changes can be tackled through AI in predictive analysis. So we are here to predict what is going to happen tomorrow, and based on that, you are trying to plan your fertigation, pest control, and other things, other regular activities. It is monitored based on data, okay, actual real time data. And then another challenge is productivity. All of us might be knowing this, and I don't think I am the person who is breaking you this news, but fact is, in terms of productivity, in most of our major crops, we are actually way lesser than world average. I'm not talking about top 10 or something. It is lesser than world's average. Most of the crops, take it paddy, wheat, all these things. So the challenge comes per acre why the productivity is reducing. Is one thing most importantly is we have a large patches of lands of small farmers who are trying to grow the same crop at the same place. So what is happening? Everyone needs labor at the same time. Picking cannot be delayed, and then post harvest cannot be delayed, and taking to market and other things. That is where some people are showing some kind of relaxations in mechanization, which is also helping. And then we are having issues with profitability. Here, the market integrations and intelligence is also a big thing in this case. Like now, some people are integrating with the markets and trying to provide the real time, what will say, uh, real time prices running in the market. So actually, it is not that agriculture is not profitable. It is profitable. That is why still people are doing it. The thing is, farmers by all levels, all kinds of farmers know and have the skill how to uh, grow the crops. But where generally people fail, that is when you have to make a decision. So in the decision making, when you are actually helping out the farmer, you help them, provide them data and logic. Why is this needed? Okay, let me also tell you this thing. For the last 20 to 30 years, a lot of companies popped up in agriculture, trying to solve real time problems for farmers. At the same time, there are many counterfeits. There are many people who are just here to make money, and lot of spurious and substandard product is freely running out in the market. And in terms of pesticide, seed, everything, name it. So here the challenge comes. Farmers started believing all of us in the beginning, and now this complete traction happens only with the trust. How farmer trust you. So to build the trust today became a very big thing, because farmer has been cheated as many times. So now we need to show them something, the fact, truth. So in extension, we say seeing is believing. So what do you show? Like it is too small, like you can't wait for a crop season and say, see, I said you it is failing and it failed. So that is where your data and real time examples will actually help. And now this is how we are talking about how AI can transform agricultural extension. One is obvious personalized recommendations. As I said, at that point of time, there can be some things like we all know it, right? If some nutrients are more in the soil, it will obstruct the intake of other nutrients. So these kind of things is very hard to look at it and say. And that place, that farmer might be having a different problem. It is very simple. Like you go to a doctor and he gives you 10 medicines and say something will work, take it. Or you go to a doctor, he'll do some 1 2 tests and then he'll give you, based on the test results, what is required for you. That makes a difference. It's like sometimes we see this also happening, right? We go to medical shops and we'll be telling, I'm having cough, I'm having this, I'm having that. But the challenge is, it can be due to multiple challenges. This is also accelerating the cost and real time problem solving. So, what happens actually, like in terms of fungus or in terms of insects, also, sometimes generally they one insect or one fungi bacteria comes up and it will never start fighting the crop. It will wait. It will wait until they'll pop up to the enough population that together they can actually grow and they know, okay, right, now we can go fight and we can survive. Until then they stay and they don't show any symptom to you, right? So seeing those symptoms at right point is also very important. And if it is delayed, see, take it from me, like if you're seeing some fungal symptom on the plant or some leaf or something, it is already dead. You can't save it. You can just stop it from spreading from one place to another. And now the challenge is, you need to ask yourself, is it good if I can stop at a lower infection rate or after I see the symptom? So this is very tiny, and most of the times, one day some wedding is there in the nearest village. I go and my field, I see like it's all good. But the next day, 2 days later, I'll come and see it is completely wilted. These things happen. So the real time challenges and real time monitoring is very important. That is where AI is also helping, and obviously predictive analytics. You know, prevention is better than cure. That is why I suppose we all have taken without a second thought all this COVID vaccines. But when it comes to an agriculture facility, farm, we generally see, let the symptoms pop out, then we will see, then we will recommend, then they will go there, then they'll bring back. This is taking down the food which could have been used by a lot of people. Precision farming, definitely yes. And scalability. So, what is it with the scalability? It is like when you are trying to use the artificial intelligence, you don't need to go and take it for the entire this thing. From this tiny, like farmer with tiny acreage to the huge acreage. So, generally, innovations are also most of the times, because it is business, it is focused on large scale farmers, industrialized situations. For the, so in terms of AI, it is same for a farmer holding small acreage and it is same for the farmer having a huge acreage. This is actually empowering the farmers with knowledge. So in Indian agriculture, how is are these AI helping? In terms of a recent survey, this is kind of result we have. In terms of yield, so most of the yield is damaged due to pests and diseases, sometimes weeds. Okay, so here the places where the AI is implemented, like in terms of this data is from all this fossil cropping and other these things also predicting and everything. So here it is 21% of the yield, and for me it looks like 21% of revenue. So the investment might be a little higher on the initial moment, but because you need to buy some machinery, You need to integrate with someone. So these kind of things are there. And then input costs. So in terms of overuse of resources, obviously where you need one medicine, you are going for 10 medicines because you don't want to go to a test. It is definitely higher. And there are places where that 30% reduction has been recorded, like in terms of targeted weeding. It's one thing, like where you have a small machine, you just leave it like, uh, we all have seen these vacuum cleaners, right, which will just roam around the house, map it once and start cleaning it. The same way, it targets the unwanted pests, starts killing it with the fire, and this is happening. So these kind of things are there. And then income. So before AI, it is limited due to the access to the market. So decision making is also important, where you will decide which market you are going to sell. Like if the imagine the commodity is chili, you have options. You are sitting in Telangana, you can go to Warangal market, where you have a market rate of 12,000, or you can go to the 4 hours away, you can go to Guntur market, where you might get 15,000. And maybe if your product actually is aligned with the market in Nagpur, which is giving you 25,000 per quintal. So here comes your decision making. Where shall I sell it? And it is also calculating your logistic cost. Okay. And also that time it takes, all these resources. So you have multiple buyers, but you go to the single buyer because of nearby accessibility. We don't know about outside this thing. But these days, farmers are really looking into these kind of things, market access and market information, which is really changing the agriculture scenario. And resource use. Obviously, we have very bad usage of our resources. Let me tell you this. In terms of, although I come from, I am selling pesticides, and my portfolio is almost 1,000 crore in insecticides. But the fact is, we are actually, as a community, we are using our resources in a very bad shape. The way we dispose our bottles, the way we store our pesticide, the way we use when we are in field, like some of them are really scary. Like I am actually, I get to travel across the country, so I have been seeing at multiple places their usage, and this thing is different. And if we are using, see, here resource is not only your land and all the tools you have, like pesticide and all, which you're buying, is also a resource. And then with AI, like in terms of drones, it's saving like lots and lots of this thing, but there are still challenges. You can't use them on some crops like cumin and chili at later stages. So still people are trying to work out, and there are some drift challenges are there. It is not ready yet, but it is still evolving. Okay. So now, so where all we are using AI these days, like multiple people, multiple organizations are working on different specific objectives. And what I believe is, right now, if you are trying to be a good extension agent to a farmer, I'll say it is not needed you have to be master of something. It is good to be jack of all trades. You should know what other problems or what other solutions are available in the market. So when you approach a farmer, he's an insider. Farmer is an insider for us. He's a member of our family. When you tell him, when he asks you something else, you must be at least know the person who you need to connect with. It's not like you need to know the complete information about it. Basic information is good to have. So right from soil preparation, so soil health monitoring we are seeing. So these days, so many of the companies have started this scanning the soil, and then you are please don't mind that I am not mentioning any companies, because like it will be an injustice. Many of them are doing it, like they're trying to find out layer by layer what kind of compositions are there through scanning the soil. Some of them by small robots which are running around and picking random samples, and some of them are having fixed units which can continuously monitor the soil requirement, and then optimize the fertigation and water usage also at some point. And then planting, like what kind of crop can you plan in this? Crop planning is happening. And then based on the market trends, what should be your preference? It is like some kind of a, I can say it is like deindustrialization also, where in industrialization of agriculture we have went through large acres of monoculture. Now people on name of sustainability and continuous payment, continuous income generation for farmer, they are suggesting some crops which will be 3 months, and then 5 month crop, then 8 month crop, then 10 month crop, so that the money runs. It's not like in some places. Let me also tell you, this is what farmers do. Specifically in places like Gujarat and all, they go for cotton, okay, cotton or groundnut. They make some money, decent money out of it, and then that money they will use for investing on cumin, which will make them more money. So they will take the cut of their money, like in terms of profit or money, they will take after 2 seasons or 1 year. But here is the catch. Nowadays, what farmers are trying to understand is it is not so sustainable like this. They are trying to get some regular short intervals of money based on the croppings and all. So this is where they are also getting access to the internet. I have been asking this question to multiple farmers throughout this country for last few years now, and their answer has been changing. That what is the medium of information for you? Where do you learn about something new, about a new technology or a new seed or a new pesticide? How do you learn about it? And surprisingly, these days, most of them are saying it's a phone. Like the penetration of a phone, I have it in the other slide, I'll show you later, is going good actually. It's a TRAI data. It says around 70% of our rural networks are actually connected with good internet and mobile phones, smartphones. It's a good change. And then growth monitoring. So this is one very important thing. It is while the crop is in the field, it is important to monitor every day. So most of the times, these fresh vegetables, fresh consumables, when we are growing them, people tend to go every single day to their field and walk around and see if anything happening, or some kind of detective mode they'll get into. But in case of paddy, okay, sugarcane, paddy is a different problem, obviously. They just keep it and leave it, and regular practices they'll be doing it. And in case of sugarcane, maize, these kind of crowded crops, it is difficult to get inside, and people tend not to do it after 50 days. So in this kind of things, you have good drones, satellites, which are monitoring these days. So, and actually you have three things here: prevention, and then eradication, and spreading also, obviously. So all these three things, like it should not come first of all. If it comes, it should not spread. If it spreads, it should complete here. You should have to control here, eradicate it. So in these terms, reaction time has been reduced. It's like your ABS system, your accidental braking system, and your nowadays all cars have it. If you are not very much active also, something comes up, the car stops. These kind of things. So early pest and disease detection is also one major scope of AI in agriculture. And then irrigation. Oh, who doesn't know we have a water crisis? Like let me tell you, just not wasting much time, but this is very important to know. Punjab, the state which is named after 5 rivers, is actually recently they have banned 160 days basmati because of unavailability of water. So there is something really happening, and irrigation. How like how are we managing irrigation? Irrigation in the sense here also drainage. Okay, you should not use excess water. Neither you should not let excess water stay there because you don't have any system. In kind of a drainage system, let me tell you, Haryana is doing a great work. They are almost converting all their agriculture land with fantastic underground system, and then harvesting. Huh. So this is very key thing because these days, uh, the people who are leaving agriculture into urbanization or into parallel and alternate careers, which is not bad on their part, obviously, but it is actually the people who are migratory workers, the people who are supporting the farmers in so that the food reaches to us daily. These people are reducing. Here, robotic harvesters are doing extraordinarily good because it is important to pick up at the right time. You can't harvest a mature fruit or unmature fruit. So, in terms of paddy, maize, and all, we all have seen this big crop tigers. At the same time, we are having some cute little machines these days which are helping to pick up the right. What will say? It is also testing in the bricks meter and everything the right harvesting indexes. So it also have long distance transportability. It will also have freshness by the time it reaches us, and it will not leave anything unattended. Right time is a very this thing because if sudden winter comes, the time is along like the maturing time increases. Like for example, watermelon. Like someone goes in November, December will have 90 days crop. Someone goes in February will have 60 days crop. Same variety, same place. The thing is, whenever it is cold, like we are also told, right, when we are kids, don't get hurt in winters because the cell division becomes slower. So the maturity also will be slower. So that is something which needs a lot of expertise by the people who are judging the product, and you can't afford to leave that agriculture facility during harvesting time. Now these robots are actually pinning down and saying, okay, you still have time, 2 days or 1 day, or okay, this part of the your land is actually maturing and this is happening, this is happening. It's a good thing. And there are harvesters not only just identifying the stage of the product and then selling. Market price prediction, this is something I will say which should be, it is not perfect yet. Okay, let me tell you, there is a lot of challenge in understanding multiple market because some of them are day markets, there are night markets, and it is evolving. It is evolving. And the uh, good thing I am looking at here is in terms of selling. Currently, our industrialized agriculture says quantity is what you sell. There is no reward currently for quality. See, fact is, when we are talking about all this agricultural produce we have done is being rejected by multiple countries across. The sad part is not that our produce is being rejected. Sad part is we are consuming it. So when this marketplaces will be more accessible and more rewarding to the quality, which is going to happen very soon. Obviously, it is also going to increase the prices of food. But some point of quality, I have seen in first hand actually, the best quality of fruits and vegetables just take a flight from the field itself. They don't even come to the open market. Let us hope for a day when it is accessible for all of us. So it is not just a tool, AI. It is also a revolution for Indian agriculture, which is much needed right now. In fact, so what kind of benefit in AI are we looking in case of agricultural extension? Time efficiency. Manual is slow process. That means when I hire some kind of 1,000 FDAs who will explain about my product, who will also help my farmer with making decisions, I need to sit with them, talk to them, train them, and then they can go there and they can tell farmer. This is time consuming, slow. Now that we have AI thing, I just need to explain him how to use the AI. Right? Like I had an experience of launching one extraordinary AI, how to say, disease and pest diagnoser, self-diagnosing system. So what I have seen is rather than giving a big PowerPoint presentation on paddy, and in paddy this pest, this chemical, and then I will also see my point here is I am trying to tell AI is not only in the point of farmer, in other stakeholder point of view also, it is helping us because most of the times the source of wrong information to the farmers is us. So when we are ready to give the right answer, and then we will transfer the technology to them, that will make more an effective change. And now AI is giving real-time insight. You just don't need to just open the slide and think, "Arey, this photo is not looking like what it is here." And you will call me and I cannot answer. I'm somewhere in another meeting training someone. And here you have an app. You can just click a photo and check what could it be. So this app also has this very nice self diagnosis character. It is a Japanese app. Uh, so we brought it from Japan. It's a very successful app in Japan. In that you can actually pull out what other chances can be there, if not this. And here the challenge is the new person, although it is not his mistake that he doesn't know everything. I don't know everything. Let me tell you this. It will take time. So here that sometimes there is a chance we might by mistakenly say some wrong diagnosis of the this thing. For us, it doesn't hardly make any difference. But for the farmer, uh, in the economy point of view, it is sad because although he have to spend one thing on something and he have to wait and he sees it is not controlling and he have to again reinvest. Meanwhile, the damage which happens between my recommendation and his realization is costly. Coming back. Now going to resource use. So it is about generalized application to precision farming. Like here, no one is going to start Ramayana from where did Rama was born. Here it is like, okay, fine. Here is Sanjeevani, here is Lakshman, get them together. That's it. And now, yield improvement. Dependent on experience. Yeah, this is there. Actually, we see when I am out of college, okay, no shame in admitting, let me tell you, when I am out of the college, I went to a field. There was one experience that I had to sit with one of my friend who is AEO, and I was sitting at a counter, pesticide counter, and I'm looking around, and one farmer came with one bunch of this much leaf and another bunch of this much crop. This thing. And he's like, he kept it on the counter, and he says, "What should I spray?" I actually could not identify if it is cotton or castor. So, based on your experience, you will obviously learn things. Now, it is so simplified and it is so quick that even a new person can just get down and give the right and data, like all data driven optimization can be done just like that, which is exciting. The pace in which I am seeing agriculture and the extension work we are doing, which is going to be on a very speedy this thing. And then coming to environmental impact, it is sad to accept. See, let me be very clear. Okay, I am not against pesticide. I am actually telling pesticides are good. The reason is, in the name itself, it says it is there to kill something, and you have no regulation on how it is used. Everyone is telling farmer, we are trying to say them use this APRA on that, this and all, and then over. Why not about the storage? That little pesticide which is left in their bottle, they'll take to homes. And if you are following this kind of news, unfortunately, I follow this. Uh, like few days back, there is a incident in Rajasthan where they have drank tea and three people died in the family because they have pesticide in their kitchen. Many people do have pesticides in their houses, accessible to their animals, children, and it is scary how we are using it, how we are handling it, by the way. So, our government is doing quite a lot of things, and we, industry, and me personally, are also doing some things to tackle this thing where environmental impact can be reduced. It is not about the farmer while spraying and consumer while eating. It is the complete part wherever a pesticide is involved, it is scary. You have to be like recently, like on Diwali, it happened in Telangana near Nizamabad. Some 15 children going to school fell sick and they are admitted in hospital on a very dangerous this thing. The reason is on the way to school, someone is spraying pesticide. No one is safe. So that kind of thing is there when humans are handling it. Obviously, here also there are some challenges, and we are not ready yet for AI in this particular point of view. But definitely, scientifically, we can say it reduces the inputs, and it is way much eco-friendly than what the traditional method of. See, we know radium is radioactive, and we are still letting people play with it. I mean, here in this case, I am talking about pesticide and other even fertilizer. Yeah, it's not nice. And also seed. When most of the seed we see is seed treated, and people touch it directly with their hand. Take on their hand, open the packet, and sow this. It is having pesticide. Here, your apron, gloves, and all doesn't work. So this is something. I'm digressing from the topic, I understand, but this is something AI can actually stop from happening. Like, it is actually scary when we get to listen ki around 7,000 farmers, 7,500 farmers a year die out of unintentional pesticide exposure, almost 20 a day. This is Home Ministry data. It's on Crime Bureau reports. Okay, come back. Now, challenges in implementing AI. This is interesting. Challenges is it hardware and software part of it is expensive. So we just thought it is less expensive few minutes back. That less expensive is to use it, but to invest in it. Like if you want to buy a drone, or if you want to buy a harvester, it is a expensive hardware, and also sometimes some softwares are also very expensive. Where we are expecting the government to be proactive and subsidize things in that point of view. And then impact is like it limits the access to small scale farmers in the initial time. It is just the beginning of AI. Okay, like look at it like a new iPhone 16 Pro, which looks very expensive, but maybe 3 4 years later it will come to a normal 30 40,000 range where all of us can, like, everyone can afford it. That's one. And then lack of skills. So digital literacy is actually low. So, but the good news is we are getting all kinds of services in local languages these days, and we are also looking at people talking on Instagrams, Facebooks and all, slowly the adaptation to the digital literacy is increasing. And then connectivity issues. Oh, this is maybe only Airtel works in rural areas. I mean, like their advertisement says that. But the thing is, the internet in the rural areas is not that spread yet. It is going to happen. Some of the governments are doing real good work to get internet to each and every house. And then, most importantly, in terms of using hardware in the fields, like some IoT devices, we see a challenge that how do we connect them to internet? This is a common thing. So now there are some kind of innovations happening around in this point of view. Like I can tell one of it.
Sorry to interrupt.
Microsoft.
We shall finish within 2 minutes so that we can have time for discussion also. Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Let's do
Yes.
it. Let's rush it through. And then, yeah, data gaps. It is still some kind of gambling happening with data. People feeding wrong information will give wrong results. For reference, just look at the 5-star confuse the AI campaign. And then you have having cultural skepticism, which is very this thing. So we have very less people who are leaders, and then most of us are laggards. So it will take time in terms of cultural adaptation, and regulatory concerns are there. We have very undefined data privacy policies and all these things now. So what we are looking at in the future is precision farming 2.0, which is going to be more exciting and more precision. And autonomous farming systems are here; they are almost here. And generative AI for crop innovation. This is about planning the crops, and also it is about scheduling it in the right way. And then we have climate smart agriculture, which is all these IoT devices and other things. AI powered market insights, as we have already discussed about it. And yes, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the wonderful talk on AI and agriculture extension, and what are the challenges existing in this sector, and then why the need for the innovation in agriculture extension, and how the agriculture extension is evolved from the traditional extension to the AI driven extension, and where really the need of AI exists, and how AI is transforming the agriculture extension, be it personalized recommendations or in predictive analytics, and what are the applications of AI in agriculture. So thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful talk. So participants, if you have any questions, you can keep in chat box, and also you can raise your hand, so the questions will be taken up now. And also, if you want to speak with the sir directly, you just raise your hand. We are going to unmute you.
Or I'll also leave my contact details. If anyone wants to connect later, we can definitely.
Mrudul Srivastav has raised his hand. I think we need to unmute him. Yeah, Mrudul, you can talk.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Yes, sir. Yes.
First up, thank you so much, sir, for your kind knowledge on all these things. I'm so thankful to your team and all the managed department for having this wonderful session, to all the enthusiastic person in this field. Sir, myself Mridul Srivastav, and now I am working in a startup. We are working like IoT, GIS, AI in agriculture. Now we are based in Bhopal, in Madhya Pradesh. So we are working in the sector since 2 years, and we have also developed like IoT device and all the sensor device, and GIS technology to crop monitoring and all these things. The major hindrance, or we are facing is to how to reach to the farmers and how to connect with them, how to tell them about these benefits and all these things, how to tell that this is so easy to use and easy to help to your problem solving, all these things. Like we have also developed a feature like Gyan AI. This is a multi-language chatbot. You can ask any question, it will solve your problems. Just asking simple, like ChatGPT, simple in the thing. So my question is simple to in North India, is a major problem about the used in AI, GIS, IoT. So can you tell something how to reach to the farmers and so can we can it's like sir खाना बन गया है ready है but खाने वाले नहीं आ रहे हैं. So
बिल्कुल जी.
thank you so much sir.
Mridul ji, actually, what I'll say, so right now, like not only now, the fact is the farmers are very much occupied with a lot of problems and lot of things happening around. So your campaign, I'm talking this as a marketing person, okay? I'm not talking as a scientist. I am here to tell you one thing. In any campaign, there shall be multiple touch points. So one time we go and tell them, second time we go and tell them, third time we go and tell them, it doesn't work. It should be designed. I'll definitely help you, we'll connect later, but just for an idea I'm telling you. So what we can do is first let them, once you go and talk in a village, this is the product and this can help you all. And next thing we have to do is a demo. And while conducting the demo, let some people be there. And then usage of the demo, then we will check with another touch point, which will be the result he got, the farmer got from the demo, which will be recorded, and then the testimonial will be paid. That will be another touch point. And then some campaign will like postering these things. These things, the repeated this thing, first time he'll listen, he'll feel like, yeah, this is useful for me. But what happens is he'll forget. So that continuous recall, just let us target on one particular point wherever you will say north and bombard them with the communication until some of them use it. Here, always the best thing, farmer, if you want farmer to change the adoption model, it is called adoption theory, according to which you change the surrounding of the, then they will do what surroundings are required from them. Like in the first wave of COVID, no one used mask. When the surroundings changed, second, everyone used it. The fact is, it is sad to talk about it, but there is some learning there. So once we plan based on the targeted particular farmers group, once that is just the ignition, and then we will get the taste of it and we can spread it all around with more confidence. So that is what I think. It is just that one thing. And farmers are really good. Not only farmers. See, this is one very big miscommunication. Sorry. So this is one very big miscommunication people have on farming and also Indians, that we are very lethargic in adopting some technology. No, that is not true. Look at digital India. Now, who doesn't have a QR code? People who don't have bank accounts 3 years before. Everyone is having QR code. We are not lethargic in definitely in adopting technology. It is just how do we bombard this thing until the adoption increases. One person adopts, he will tell the people. That is a good thing, because it gets carried away. So like really, some of the great inventions we have missed it because people just did not remember it. We will work out something, sir. Let us talk. It is a good thing you have joined here, and thanks for your participation.
Yeah, any more questions? I think we are also, it is also 8 o'clock. So if there are no questions, let me conclude it. Yeah, thank you participants for your questions. So yeah, surely there will be more questions also from your side, but since it is 8 o'clock, I need to conclude the session. No problem. Still, if you have any questions regarding this today's session, you can contact the speakers. The speaker details are also shared in the chat box, and sir also shared his LinkedIn profile, so you can contact him. So along with this also, if you want to know more about how these technologies are integrating in the startup world, you can also register for our upcoming Saturday webinar, as we are running this from past 5 years. And also, as we are celebrating this 5 years of online excellence of Saturday webinar, we have published Manage Extension Next Good Practice Bulletin on Agri Startup Ecosystem webinars for multi-stakeholders. So the link to download the bulletin is also shared in the chat box. To receive interesting updates and programs conducted by Manage that is happening, stay tuned to our social media handles and do not forget to follow us on social media. Before concluding the session, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Govardhan sir for your wonderful talk on AI in agriculture extension and equally agriculture. So, and also thank you participants for your active engagement. And I would like to thank my director, Dr. Saravanan sir, also for organizing this webinar successfully, and also my team for hosting this successfully. So do not forget to register for upcoming Saturday webinar where we are going to talk about food tech startups. So thank you so much, Govardhan sir, and all the participants. Thank you.
If I may
It's
just
nice
conclude
having you
with
here.
one statement.
Yes.
We really need more and more people coming into agriculture, and any kind of involvement here is needed. So whatever I can do, I'll be always be available and helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Thank you.